So, lads, today we're going to be talking about something that I do think is a quite interesting topic. Me talking about whether or not the WNBA are trying to abolish the draft. And reasons for it, obviously, it's better for the players. There not being a draft is much better for the players because the players can choose where they want to go. And again, not every player is going to choose the best possible team. They'll choose the best situation for them. Like, I think if you asked Caitlin Clark where she wanted to go last year, she would have said Indiana. If you asked Victor Wembanyama where he wanted to go, he would have gone to San Antonio. A lot of these teams a lot of these players are smart about where they want to go in a way where it's like, well, if you're kind of dumb about it, you're screwing yourself in your career if you go to somewhere that's too good and you're not really playing much. But if you guys agree, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 40.8k. It's incredible. We're going for 41k by the end of the month. We hit we got like 56 subscribers yesterday. We're going to try get to like 40.85k by the end of the day. But this is all talk about Paige Bueckers because obviously there are a lot of the rumors. I don't know where the rumor came from that the Players Association are in Paige Bueckers' ear telling her to do that. But I do think that it's something that wouldn't surprise me. Like, I've heard it not be like talked about as a possibility. I've heard people saying that this is happening, but at the same time, like, it wouldn't actually surprise me. But I've been seeing people talking about this topic. I saw a whole Reddit post and it's like, where did this rumor come from that they're trying to do this? Where did the rumor come from? They're not happy. And supposedly the AI YouTube channels have been blamed for it. But I'm like, I could have swore I heard Nneka say something about it. And yeah, it came from this, where it's like, this part of her, well, obviously this is a whole podcast of her talking about the CBA. And she answered a completely different question. And this is why I'm like, okay, it kind of sounds like she's, like Nneka Ogwumike is talking about that. So let's see, am I at the right spot in this video? But this is basically her talking on the Steward podcast about the potential CBA. And she's asked by Megan Rapinoe, and she's not specifically asked about abolishing the draft. She's asked about lowering the draft requirement, obviously for Juju, and that is a different conversation. And then what Nneka Ogwumike does is basically pivot into a conversation about potentially abolishing the draft, or at least changing the draft.
No.
Yeah, you're not going to be landing anybody in free agent. If you're whack. More coaches, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. But is there any talk of lowering the draft eligibility in the W at this point?
I think especially after the NWSL kind of did away with the draft, I think that players, I think it definitely piqued their interest. Like, what changes can be made with that process that, that involves our experience in the W. I'm not sure how deep those conversations have gone, but I've definitely heard players have raised that with me.
So obviously,
okay. Yeah.
So obviously she's just saying, yeah, players raised with me, yeah. So that's basically where that's all come from. And there is definitely, definitely being implied. It's definitely been implied that they're at least considering it. And look, I think from the players' perspective, the players will want to get rid of it. I don't think there's much of a reason why the players wouldn't want to get rid of the draft, if we're being honest. Because, again, you can choose where to go. It's better for the players, especially when you're making as little money as this. Because it's not like the NBA where some chunk of your salary is due to all the media, and the amount of draft coverage is getting you paid, is a big reason why you're getting paid the big bucks. It's a bit different when it comes to the W. And obviously, it is their home run. If Paige Bueckers does not go to Dallas, or she refused to go to Dallas, that would be the home run for the WNBA, if that is what they're pushing. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how far they're pushing it, what they're looking to go for, because she did answer the question completely opposite. She was asked about lowering the age requirement, and then Nneka Ogwumike, who is the head of the Players Association, by the way. If this came from anyone that was on the Players Association, it is what it is. basically said the players are looking for ways to see how they can make the the process of entering the league better for them, and didn't mention how to make the draft better. Just said how to make that process better. Specifically didn't say draft, and then said the players are thinking about it and players have raised it with me. So that's where the rumor came from. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think it's one of those situations where, look, their salaries are going to go up, and it's something that they're going to have to fight. It's something that even if they fight, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. But it's very likely, and I mean that, it's very, very likely that this is something the WNBA are at least going to bring up. Maybe it's going to be one of those things where it's like, we're not going to get this, but let's argue that for something else. Let's argue we want to abolish the draft, and then we'll concede that point to try to get something else. But it is something that, if they really, really, really wanted to get rid of the draft, if that was their main goal, there's no reason why they wouldn't be in Paige Bueckers' ear. We can be honest here. If that is the main goal of the WNBA, and again, we don't know if it is, but we at least know that there are conversations about it. If that is the goal, and especially because of Paige Bueckers being UConn, how close Paige Bueckers is to a lot of these players, it's possible, man. It is absolutely, absolutely possible that the WNBA might use Paige Bueckers to try abolish a draft. But again, I think we're looking more than likely at this just being a bit of a smokescreen, and this just being, just conversations. Just conversations being like, okay, what can we do? Is there anything we're able to do? Can we make this a little bit better? Because I don't think, look, players don't ever want to go to poverty franchises. That's the truth of it all. Players genuinely, genuinely don't want to go to poverty franchises. And I think maybe, if anything, this is the WNBA Players Association maybe trying to leverage. Obviously, the Sky are getting their better facility, but trying to leverage the Fever of just announced a facility, trying to leverage the fact that, people care more now. And if there are no poverty franchises, if franchises play in proper facilities, if they play in proper arenas, then nobody's going to want to say no. Maybe it's just to leverage a team like the Sun to actually, care about their franchise. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys disagree with this? Or do you guys think that, maybe it's a smokescreen? Or do you think that, obviously, this is what they're doing? Do you think it's a smokescreen, or do you think they're really pushing to abolish the draft? And do you think Paige Bueckers might just say, you know what, screw this, I'm done, I'm out? I really don't think that's going to happen, but you just never know. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.